Hey, what's up, ghouls and gals? Welcome back. Today we are ending the month with another physical media haul. Okay, hang on here. I did some damage this month, and when you see these purple bags, you know I've been to the record store. So before we begin, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, check out all of my links down below. If you would like to see any more of me or support the channel any further, we are offering physical media mystery boxes on our shop right now. Super affordable, shipping worldwide. Anyways, enough of that. Let's get into the haul. I am sitting literally on the ground. I need to make piles to organize all of this crap. It's not crap, it's gold. All right, we have 6 VHS tapes, 4 CDs, 2 DVDs, and 5 books. Very quickly, we picked up a collector's edition of Schindler's List, but in the same token, hey, free Gaza. Anyways, moving on to a movie that quickly became one of my favorite movies, literally of all time, Freeway. I loved this movie so much. We saw it for the first time maybe 3 years ago, and it changed my life. Reese Witherspoon is without her spoon in this movie, if you know what I mean. Every time we go to look for any kind of physical media, I'm always searching for the original funny games. It's always funny people, it's never funny games, but this time I found Freeway, and I'm super excited about that, even though it's a really, this case is falling apart. Okay, let's move on to the VHS tapes, and we'll start with one that I have a little bit of a story to go with. If you follow me on Instagram, you already saw my gripe with Moonstruck. Alex's mom came to visit us for the second weekend of July, and we didn't know what to do, so we ended up checking out a vintage / record store that we'd never been to before, and I saw a bunch of tapes and I was gonna go buck wild, but something told me don't do it. Just grab one thing, be reserved. There was no price anywhere really on the so anyways, I spent way too much money on Moonstruck. It was $10, and I didn't realize that it was going to be so much money until we got up to the cash register, and she was like, okay, this is your total. I'm like, okay, but what am I going to do? Not support an independently owned thrift store? That would be a really shitty thing to do. So I ended up with a $10 copy of Moonstruck. Anyways, in my last haul, you saw that I found a couple of sealed episodes of The Addams Family, the original TV show on VHS, and I found another one. So this one came home with me. This is The Addams Family Tree and Gomez the Politician. So that, another sealed one, that was really good luck. Anyways, Alex picked up LA Confidential. And then we grabbed this film. It's definitely not horror, and a few of these things are admittedly not horror, but this is a film called Chuck and Buck, and we are Mike White fans. He recently is doing White Lotus. He's on Survivor. He's all over the place. School of Rock. He's literally everywhere. So he's in this film. I think he might have even directed it. But anyways, we listened to This Is Important, which is the podcast that is the spawn of the Workaholics guys, if you guys watched Workaholics, and they mentioned this movie, and Alex kind of remembered offhand, and he's like, no, they talked about this on This Is Important. So we picked it up because this is important. And then another sealed VHS tape. I'm always after Star Maker releases, which is the yellow border on the tapes. This is Wavelength from 1985. We talked about this a few months ago for Alien Horror Movie Review Week for our themed week, and finally got it on VHS. And then finally, it's not often I find a really cool clamshell case with a really good movie in it. And I know this movie is kind of controversial, but I found Buffalo 66. What a beautiful copy. We dug through 3 totes of VHS tapes, and this was at the very bottom of the very last one. And oh, I was so excited to find this. Okay, let's move into CDs. Like I said, there's 4 of them. Starting off with, had to pick up Paranoid from Black Sabbath. R.I.P. Ozzy. I had this one when I was growing up. Long story short, was with the wrong person in my life, and pretty much made me sell all of my physical media at the time so that he could have the money. And I feel like that's why I'm so obsessed with like getting my collection back, because I feel like what I had built up so long ago was literally ripped away from me, and it really sucked. So here we go. This one's for you, Ozzy. And then I finally found one of my most favorite albums of all time, Metal by Pink Floyd. I am the biggest Pink Floyd fan. When I was a little girl, my uncle used to take me to the park. This is another tangent. I digress. Let me just chat with you guys for a minute. My uncle, R.I.P. as well, was a British man. He was from England. He would take me to the park, so I had to preface that because I'm going to do his accent. So he would take me to the park, and when there would be a lot of people around, like I was so young, I was probably like 3 or 4, he would be like, all right, Roo. He called me Roo. That's important. He'd be like, all right, Roo. Now, who's the best band in the world? And I would be like, Pink Floyd. And he would be like, and Roo, what's your favorite song? And I would say, careful with that axe, Eugene. And I would always shake my finger, and like until I was like maybe 15, I didn't realize that I was just listening to like incredible ambient noise. But I don't think it ever clicked to me when I was that young how important Pink Floyd would be to me in my later years. That careful with that axe story really the situation just stuck with me throughout my whole life, and Pink Floyd really became one of my favorite bands. And speaking of favorite bands, Alex, one of his favorite bands is Blink-182, and we have been trying to build up our collection of their CDs, so we finally found Cheshire Cat. We've been looking for this forever. And then recently we picked up Enema of the State, a classic. Okay, let's finish off and move into books, starting off with this giant, incredible copy of Margaret Atwood's The Testaments. I already have The Handmaid's Tale. It just felt right. We are in end times. And I always say that wrestling and horror go hand in hand. So picked up The Rock Says The Rock from WWF. This, oh, is it just says, it's just called The Rock Says by The Rock. This is like really poorly done. It was $1.49. I was not passing that up. And then at my work, I was so lucky to find this gem, Grady Hendrix's How to Sell a Haunted House. Now, I was going to buy this brand new a little while ago. We were at a bookstore and I almost paid almost $30 for this, but we got it in at my work. It was in the bargain bin for $5.99, and then with my discount on top of that, I paid barely $4 for it. So I'm so glad that I waited. And very lastly here, we realized that we did not have any of the books in the Girl with the Dragon's Tattoo series, and unfortunately, like, that's the only book we did not find. But we were thrifting the other day and we found The Girl Who Played with Fire and a beautiful hardcover copy of The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. So we have to find The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I don't think it'll be that hard to find, but this was $1.49 and the hardcover was $3.49, and really did not want to pass that up because it felt like a really good price for these books. I only really buy things secondhand. I don't love to buy things brand new. I want to give a second life to things that people just didn't want anymore. It has a home with me, you know, and I'm really excited about all of this. I wanted to be able to put it away, so that's why we are doing our haul today, and so the bags are not sitting in my closet waiting to be put away anymore. So on that note, I'm gonna go cook dinner. I hope that you had a wonderful July. I will be back in a few days. We're gonna be talking about some bad movies that I absolutely love. So stay tuned for that. I will see you very soon. Sayonara, Spooky fam.